Welcome to this edition of SAU Magazine, a weekly program featuring news, profiles, sports, commentary, interviews, and special events, all coming to you from the campus of Southern Arkansas University in Magnolia.
Southern Arkansas University is a beautiful college tucked away in the heart of Magnolia, Arkansas. This school, aside from being the most affordable four-year college in the state, has a small student body, allowing for more one-on-one instruction from professors and staff. At SAU, you are not just a number. You are a person wanting to improve your life with a good education, rewarding life experiences, and lessons on responsibility. Here, professors get involved with your education. They care about you doing well and succeeding in all areas of your life. Degrees include science, education, math, agriculture, theater, mass communication, and business, among others. SAU also has a nursing program. The opportunities are boundless, and the lessons learned, priceless. So if you want to be more than just a number and want to get a great education, try Southern Arkansas University in Magnolia.
This is a Southern Arkansas University News Brief. I'm Taurus Freeman. Enrollment is up at Southern Arkansas University, according to the figures from the Office of the Registrar. The total number of students at SAU this spring is 2,508, up 78 from 2,430 in the 1997 spring semester. The number of on-campus students enrolled at SAU has also increased. According to SAU President Steve Gamble, it appears that we continue to improve our efforts at retaining students. Officials at Southern Arkansas University report that the building renovations at the Health, Kinesiology, and Recreation, or HKR building, are on schedule, and the building should be ready for a grand reopening by the 1998 fall semester. The new HKR building will still feature the main gymnasium, but will also include a number of features designed for SAU students and the community. David Bethea stated to University Police Department that he was about to go to the restroom at the Bruce Center. We experienced extreme pain to the lower abdomen and groin area. An ambulance was called and was already on scene before UPD Chief Gary Odell arrived. Bethea was transported to Magnolia Hospital by Columbia County Ambulance Service. According to Michigan Daily, an offer made Wednesday by President Clinton to reduce interest rates on student loans is good news to state officials and university students. The reduction would cut the interest rates on student loans from 7.8% to 7%, potentially saving each public university or college student who takes out a loan $650 a year. Some university and state officials are calling this a step in the right direction for higher education. These and other news stories are courtesy of The Bray, the SAU College newspaper. This has been a Southern Arkansas University News Brief.
This is an SAU Profile. I'm Hunter Britton. Our profiles feature prominent university individuals, groups, activities, and events. Today, we're going to talk about the Southern Arkansas University singing and dancing troupe called Encore. Encore is a public relations group that travels to area high schools and performs popular and contemporary songs and dances. Headed by Miss Judy Vasser of the Department of Theater and Mass Communication, Encore is a popular recruiting tool for the university. Featuring the most talented performers of the university, Encore has entertained high school crowds since Vasser created it in 1985. Encore has traveled as far as Little Rock to perform, and several members perform at non-school functions every year. So keep your ears and eyes open. Encore will probably come to a high school near you. This has been an SAU Profile.
SAU Sports, I'm Eric Waller. The SAU baseball team suffered its first losses of the season as Dallas Baptist University took the Riders out behind the woodshed for a sweep in their doubleheader last weekend. In the first game, DBU lit up the SAU pitching staff for 7 runs in the decisive third inning. Dallas Baptist teed off in the first game for 17 hits and 10 players with at least 1 hit. Starter Kelton Ladner took the loss for SAU, while Tom Sawyer was a bright spot for the Rider pitching staff as he only gave up 2 runs in 5 innings. Andy Player led the SAU offense and left the yard for the 4th time this season in 4 games. In the nightcap, SAU left their gloves and bats in the dugout as DBU spanked the Riders 11-1. DBU put the game out of reach by scoring 3 runs in the 3rd and 4 more in the 5th, despite only 1 hit in the inning. Wild pitching was responsible for the other runs. Dale Jansen accounted for the lone SAU run in the 6th inning on a double that scored Judd Thomas. The SAU women's tennis team began its season in poor fashion as they were swept by Henderson State and Hendrix College, but rebounded by sweeping Arkansas Monticello. Their next match is Tuesday as they take on Ouachita Baptist in Magnolia. The Riderettes look to improve on last year's 5th-place finish in the Gulf South Conference. They sport a young team with 2 seniors but 4 underclassmen and only 3 members from last year's squad. Keith Johnson is in his 2nd year as head coach of a team that has seen 3 coaches in 4 years, but 4-year player Melissa Chavez believes the coaching staff has improved since her 1st year. And finally, the SAU soccer team earned a 2-all draw with Ouachita Baptist in its final game before league play. The undermanned Riders played well without 4 starters, including the regular goalkeeper. Joshua Colbert settled down and shut OBU down in the 2nd half. Chase Sutton and Idris Salia were responsible for both SAU goals. SAU begins the regular season in Arkadelphia against Team Calisone. I'm Eric Waller, SAU Sports.
I'm Ozzie Greene with an SAU commentary. Segregation at SAU is a major dilemma that is constantly being ignored at our campus. For those who do not know what segregation is, it is to set apart from others, especially to keep people from different races separate, as in public schools. Unfortunately, this act of immaturity and lack of knowledge is being practiced in our cafeterias, classrooms, and dormitories. Separating oneself from a certain situation without just cause is unexplainable. Basing segregation simply on the color of one's skin shows us how far we have come from our past and how far we have to go for a successful future. Considering that February was Black History Month, we must reflect on those historians who have fought, stood for, and preached desegregation, such as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, and Jesse Jackson, just to name a few. In order to annihilate segregation at SAU, I leave you with the words of Spike Lee's film School Days. SAU, please wake up. This has been an SAU commentary.
I'm Jennifer Lewis. Our guest on SAU Magazine today is Mrs. Judy Vasser, instructor of theater and speech. She also is the creator of Encore, SAU's music and dance group. Mrs. Vasser, how did you come up with the idea of Encore?
In 1979 and 80, Dr. Harold Brinson asked me if I would work with a group to serve as a public relations singing and dancing group for the university, and I began working with them then. In 1980-81, we named it Encore, and we started traveling throughout the Arklatex and working with a group of about 25 to 30 students every semester.
What takes place during a typical Encore performance?
Well, Jennifer, you're in this group, and you know that there is no typical rehearsal. We have a lot of fun, and I have a lot of energetic students in this group, so sometimes our rehearsals are not as organized as I might like, but we usually go through our group routines and our group dances, and then we let the soloist stay later than the entire group, and we work on solo numbers.
How does Encore serve SAU as a recruiting device?
We travel to area high schools primarily in our recruiting area, so we go to North Louisiana, Northeast Texas, and basically the Arklatex area. I try to alternate schools and not go to the same school every year, but try to hit all of the schools where we get a large number of our students within a 3-year period.
What does the future hold for Encore? Do you think there'll be new routines or for incoming students?
Everything changes each semester. We base our routines and our musical selections on the talent of the group. So I've said before, this group reinvents itself every semester. It's like a football coach who gets a new starting quarterback in line every semester. I never know exactly who we'll have, and sometimes our talent is in the dance area, sometimes it's in female vocalists, and sometimes we have outstanding male vocalists. This semester we're really lucky we have a little of all of these.
Do students need musical or dancing experience to be a member of Encore?
It's really wonderful if I have some students who read music and who have had dance experience, but it's not a criteria for being a member of this group. I share a lot of students with the SAU choir, and so those students have had a little bit more training in their music, but it's not necessary that a student have any performance ability or performance experience.
Could an incoming student come and visit your Encore class?
We have visitors at almost every rehearsal. We rehearse on Tuesday and Thursday from 2 until 3:30 or 4 or 5, whenever we get through. And almost every class meeting we will have students from SAU drop in. I've also invited the admissions counselors to bring their people through. Anytime they're giving a tour, they know they can come in and bring those students to watch us rehearse. So we practice in the theater, and that's our classroom. But as we're on the stage for every rehearsal, we have some kind of an audience out there every day.
Are there scholarships available for Encore students?
Last year was the first year that we had a small amount of scholarships that we call the Spirit of Encore Awards, and this is based on students who have been in the group, who have shown their ability to work with others and to share their talents. And right now I have 6 of these students enrolled, and they must have 12 hours, past 12 hours, and kind of be a proven member to the group, because it's how well you work with others, how well you share the spotlight, all of those things.
What other classes do you offer here at SAU?
Well, I teach costume and makeup, stage movement and dance, theater dance, speech classes. I have taught oral interpretation. Next semester I will be teaching history of musical theater, and the theater dance class will be in the fall, plus the speech classes in Encore.
Where did you receive your education?
At the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville, and I received a BSE in art and speech and theater, and then I went on to graduate school in theater and speech.
What do you like best about SAU?
I enjoy the students more than anything else, and of course I work with a lot of nice people, and our department is a very comfortable place to work. One of the first things I was told when I started working here is that we had academic freedom. I like that idea. I think you can be creative when you have academic freedom.
What do you do during your free time?
Grade papers and schedule trips for Encore, and make our confirmation calls to the schools, schedule our bus. I do a lot of Encore work during my free time and talk to students. I always have students in the office. Everyone in our department has kind of an open door policy with our students, so we rarely have an office where we're just in there by ourselves. We always have students, and we welcome that. So I spend a lot of time with the students.
I think that's part of what makes SAU so special to us too, though. Which is your favorite class?
Wow. I enjoy all of the classes. I love the stage. I really enjoy the stage, and having grown up on the stage, I thought that that was the biggest high you could have being a performer, but I have found that working with students and watching them enjoy the stage is even much more fun. So anytime I can be on the stage with the students, that's really my favorite place to be.
Miss Judy Vasser of Encore has been our guest today on SAU Magazine. I'm Jennifer Lewis. Thank you for listening.
SAU Magazine is a production of broadcast journalism students in the Department of Theater and Mass Communication at Southern Arkansas University in Magnolia.